Our topic today is to discuss a real tool that you can use to improve and change your mindset. And the reason why it might be helpful to use a tool to improve your mindset is that selling can be difficult. You are guaranteed to face objections again and again, even if you do everything correctly. And if it's not objections you're running into, you might just be running into that prospects don't ever answer your call or call you back, or nobody's replying to your emails or to your voicemails. And when you face that again and again every day, you can start to have doubts and think, well, maybe nobody needs what I'm trying to sell, or maybe my product isn't very good, or maybe I'm not very good at this and I don't have what it takes to be a salesperson. We talked about on the previous Mindset Monday sessions how these are invalid doubts, that in most cases, these are not valid, and that your product and you as a salesperson, you have a tremendous amount of value to offer to the prospects who need your help. And that in most likely, you have what it takes to be a successful salesperson. But even though you might agree with these thoughts and hear this right now and say, yeah, you're right, it can be easy to forget these positive thoughts and get very far away from this when you're out there working on the front lines, in the trenches, and getting beat up by sales prospects. That's why it can help to use a tool. And the tool that I'm going to show you here today is what is called sales affirmations. And if you're familiar with the concept of affirmations, you may start to be walking away right now, because most people have a fairly negative impression of the tool of using affirmations to improve your mindset. And that is because most people use affirmations incorrectly. And so in this very short session, I'm going to show you why most people use them incorrectly and how you can use sales affirmations as a real tool to help you improve your mindset. And there's actually a bonus effect of using affirmations. So even if they don't improve your mindset, using the tool that I show you here today will also have a bonus effect. So stay with me and let's go through this. Before I show you how to correctly build your affirmations and incorporate them into your routine, let's take a step back and talk about what an affirmation is. An affirmation is just a statement about something that is true and something that you support strongly. This is the definition of an affirmation. And if we apply that to sales affirmations, what we're basically talking about here is a positive and strong statement about you or your product or your service or your company. And because it's a positive and strong statement, by looking at that affirmation periodically through your day or through your week, you can be reminded of the good things about you and what you sell, and you can use that to improve your mindset and become a better salesperson. So before we look at how to create affirmations for what you sell, let's look at why most affirmations don't work or are viewed to be a bit silly and to be a waste of time. And the first is that probably when most people create affirmations, it's mostly a fluffy statement such as, I'm the best. So while that is a good, strong, and powerful statement, it's very fluffy. Okay, you're the best. Well, what does that mean? So that affirmation does not really tell you anything because it's mostly fluff. And the second thing is that maybe the affirmations are a strong statement, but they're too broad and not specific enough by saying something like, I can do this, I can be successful. Okay, but why? Why can you do this? Why can you be successful? Or you might create affirmations that are unbelievable. And if it's not something you can believe and you agree with, then it's really not going to improve your mindset. For example, to use the affirmation of something like, I'm the strongest, when you're really not. Are you the strongest? And if you are the strongest, you probably don't need to tell yourself you're the strongest. And if you're not the strongest, but you create an affirmation that tries to tell you that you're the strongest, then you're not going to believe that. And that's just going to be a tool that's not going to work, and it's going to be a waste of time. So with the affirmations I show you here today, they are going to try to meet 4 different requirements. You want to create something that's, of course, strong and positive about you, your company, or your product. You want to make it something that's real, something that's true. And because it's real and true, you want it to be, or it will be, believable, something you can agree with and say, yes, that is correct about myself or what I'm selling. And then you want to make it as clear and as specific as possible so that it's something that can be more effective in changing your mindset. Now, the really cool thing is that if you use our sales message brainstorming process, this process will actually create your sales affirmations for you. And that's because this sales message brainstorming process, all of these steps that we take you through, and we've done this in other videos, so I'm sure you've already seen that. If you haven't, there are plenty of videos. I'll show you where to go actually at the end of this video to where you can go through that process to create your sales message. But that process will help you to create what we call building blocks. And just about all of the building blocks, specifically these 4 building blocks, will actually create sales affirmations for you. And let me show you how this works. Now, on a previous video, I talked about the example of a salesperson who is trying to sell gym memberships and how that salesperson will likely have a challenging mindset because they might go out and use a product-focused sales pitch where they're going out and trying to sign up people walking around the gym for signing up for the gym by using a product pitch where they talk primarily about the product. Hey, we have this gym over here. It has a lot of equipment. We provide personal training, a lap pool. And because you're out there and you're pushing the product, I mentioned how you're likely to face a lot of objections like, no, thank you. I'm not interested. We don't need that right now. We already use another gym. And when you face these objections, and typically you'll face more objections when you use a product-focused sales pitch, then it leads you to having these doubts like maybe nobody needs this, maybe it's not very good, or maybe I'm not very good at this. And what you can do is you can go back to your sales message and use those blocks. For example, you could use your value points, benefits building block and use that as an affirmation, because your value points is how your product helps. And how your product helps should help you to improve your mindset, because how your product helps delivers very positive things to the customers who purchase from you or the prospects who need your help. For example, the value points for that gym membership salesperson is that he helps people to improve their health and fitness. He helps people to lower stress and have more energy. He helps people to improve their confidence and improve their mood and how they feel every day. And with all of that, he can help people to improve the relationships in their life and improve their career and transform lives overall. Now, when you look at this, this is very powerful stuff. And there are a lot of people out there that need this help. And when you think of it that way, then you can use this to improve your mindset, to take a step back and think, man, what I sell is really good and I help people in tremendous ways. And there are people out there that need this help. So when you see people walking around the gym, you can look at them and instead of feeling like I'm about to bother them and try to talk them into wanting my product, you can look at those people and think, those might be people that need some of the help that I have to offer. I need to go see if those are people that need my help. And applying that to B2B sales, where you might be picking up the phone, instead of feeling like I'm about to call someone and I'm going to bother them and this is going to be uncomfortable and I feel bad, but it's my job and I have to do it. You can change that mindset to think, maybe this person, the next person on the list of people I need to call, maybe they are in the group of people that need my help. So I'm going to call them, and maybe they're not. And if they're not, then I'll take them off the list and I'll get them out of my way. But if they are, then they are really going to be happy to receive my call and to eventually receive the help that I have to offer. And in a previous video, we also talked about how you as a salesperson, you have value to offer with your expertise, just like the gym membership salesperson has expertise to help to his prospects. So he has very deep knowledge of health and fitness, been working in the industry a long time. He's certified in many different areas. So he has value to offer to the people. He is an expert and he can use the value that he offers as an affirmation to himself to feel good that he has value and can help people in many different ways. And the people that need his help can really benefit from his level of expertise. So this can be an affirmation to improve his mindset, just like you might have strengths about yourself and what you bring to the position, and you can use that as an affirmation for yourself. You can also use your pain points as an affirmation, and it's very similar to what we just discussed, just coming at it from the other side, because the pain points show that you solve problems, and there are people out there that have these problems and need your help. For example, for the gym membership salesperson, the people that he helps usually don't feel good and are unhealthy. They are often stressed and don't have any energy. They don't have any confidence. They need to improve their relationships. So you can look at this as an affirmation to realize, man, there are people that say, I'm not interested in me, but there are also people that have these problems. Even though they don't know if they need the product I sell, they know they have these problems, and I help to fix these problems. So I have something to offer to these people. I just need to get engaged with these people and find out if they have these problems and then explain how I can help. So again, you can look at this when it's time to go approach someone, if you're doing cold walking, or pick up the phone and think, there are people out there that have problems that I help to solve. There are people that need my help. I am just reaching out to this person to try to identify if they are in the group of people that need my help. Our sales message brainstorming process also takes you through a step to create a customer example, an example of another customer that you've helped in the past. And you can also use your customer example as an affirmation, as a reminder to yourself that there are customers out there that are benefiting from what you do. This can be easy to forget, because when you run into, I'm not interested, we're fine, thanks, we already use someone else, you can start to think, man, maybe my product's not very good. Well, when you stop to remember that there are customers that love what you sell and you are helping tremendously, you can have more confidence in what you're trying to sell. And you can use your customer examples as a reminder to yourself, as an affirmation, that what you sell is good and does help in many different ways. You can also use your product building block as an affirmation. Typically, we try to minimize how much you talk about and think about the product you sell, because we want to move you to more of a prospect focused sales pitch. But our sales message brainstorming process does take you to an extra step of thinking about your differentiation in terms of how the product or service you sell is different from the competition. And this could also be used as a sales affirmation. I would kind of put this as a secondary sales affirmation. This can come in handy when you feel like the product you sell isn't very good, because maybe you're losing deals to the competition, or you're not able to get engaged with prospects because they're already engaged with your competitors. And when that happens, you can start to have doubts of, maybe the product I sell isn't very good. And you can use your differentiation as an affirmation to decrease those negative thoughts, because if your product is different and better in certain ways, while that can be sometimes easy to forget, it is those ways that it's different that makes you competitive. And by reminding yourself of the ways that you're different and more competitive, you can improve your mindset and decrease those doubts of feeling like what I sell is not very good compared to the competition. So that is how you create your sales affirmations. And like I said, if you use our process, you already have them. If you don't use our sales pitch, sales messaging process, you might go through and create one similar to what I just showed you. But the way to incorporate those into your daily and weekly routine is print them out, put them on paper, and you can either stick them on the wall or just have them on your desk. But what you want to do is you want to refer to those, read over them, look at them periodically. So that might be maybe Monday morning and look at them, and that's all you need. Or maybe it might be every morning. It could be before you make calls and pick up the phone and do some dialing. It could be in between each call. The frequency is kind of up to you and maybe where your mindset is. But using a tool like this will improve your mindset and help you to have more clarity around how strong you are and how strong what you're trying to sell is. And that should improve your overall mindset. And when you do that, you can have more confidence when you're cold calling and in sales situations. You can also feel more purpose. Instead of feeling like you're just trying to push gym memberships or push the product you sell on people who you feel like don't need what you sell, but you're just trying to hit your number, you can change that mindset to feel like you have purpose, that what you sell helps, and you're just trying to find the people that need your help. And the side effect of this, which I think is probably the best things about using a tool like this, is that if you use your sales pitch as affirmations and look at those affirmations periodically, what you're doing is you're basically reminding yourself of the sales pitch and talking points you need to be communicating when you're selling. In other words, if you look at your value points to improve your mindset, when you end up on a call with a prospect, you're more likely to have your value points at the front of your mind and more likely to not only remember what to say, which is talk about your value points, but you're more likely to communicate better, communicate sharper, focus on the key things that you need to be talking about when you're talking with prospects. So as I mentioned, if you want help on creating your sales pitch and your sales message and ultimately your sales affirmations by using our process, you can go to a playlist on our YouTube channel called Smart Selling. And the fourth video is on how to create your sales message. So that will take you through what I just showed you here to create your sales affirmations. And all of the videos on this playlist will actually take you through our full sales training program that we call the Smart Sales System. And that list of videos actually aligns with the book that I wrote called The Smart Sales System, Sell Smarter, Not Harder. And if you're interested in that, I'll put a link in the description where you can get that. If you like these tips, you may want to follow us on any of these social platforms. We basically take these long form videos and slice them down into 30 to 60-second clips with usually one tip in each clip, and we post one of those per day. So follow us on these social platforms because that's sometimes an easier way for you to digest any of the tips that we have to offer if you value the tips that we have to offer. And if you do value the tips we have to offer, you may want to join our subreddit. I actually created this recently. It's very young, only a few members, but I really want to get this to be a community for our customer base, as well as just people that are interested in optimizing their sales pitch and working on what they say and ask. So I would love your support in joining this. And by the way, if you have any questions for me about your sales pitch, your sales script, what you're saying out there, any tips, this is a great way to interact with me directly because I'm very motivated to get our subreddit going. And the way to do that is to get people asking questions and get people answering questions. And I'm motivated to answer all the questions on there. So if you ask me a question, I'm going to take time out of my busy day to compose a very detailed answer to what you're looking for. So please join us there. Would love to have more participation there. And if you want to help us in any way, a very easy way for you to do that is all you have to do is like, comment, share our videos, subscribe to our channel. Any of those help us, and none of those cost you anything. Thanks for being here. If you have any questions or want more information on anything, the best place to go is salesscripter.com. Thanks for being here. Hope this was helpful, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video.